full color, where we live life in high definition. So my name's Jennifer Moss, and I've got Liz Hall with me, and we have Onyx. She just bonked her head, getting up on Mom's lap, so she's cuddling for a second.
Hello, Onyx.
And she's like, "Oh my gosh, let me down. I want down now." Oh yeah. So the joys of being a pet parent. I never thought I'd have a small dog. I love this little thing.
Mine was supposed to be small, and he's like, not.
No, she's full grown. All of 25 pounds of her. It's delightful. I've never had a dog I can just pick up all the time.
Yeah.
All right. There you go, Rugrat. Okay. Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome.
As I scoot my chair in here.
That's going to be sound great.
It's a fun sound. Okay, so it is salsa season, folks. So I think everybody's picked up at this point. I am not your traditional human regularly. So I do all sorts of salsa. I do fresh salsas. I do canned salsas. I buy salsa. I do all sorts of stuff. So, that's a fun noise too. We're in a working office.
They don't want to be on camera.
Well, in this way, they're able to do their job. So, we're here at the greenhouse, and what I have done is we've got a full spread.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a favorite kind of salsa?
Well, okay.
It doesn't have to be here. You're not going to offend me in any way, shape, or form.
I'm a wimp.
Okay. That's good to know before we get too far.
I am what they call a typical white girl wimp.
Gringo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I like the milds.
That actually is a mild.
Yeah, I like the milds in my life, but I can tend to go a bit spicy.
Okay.
It depends on my mood.
Okay, that's fair. That's legit.
Where the moon's at.
Okay, so we're going into a full moon week. So we're waxing.
Well, as we already talked about this, I'm a bit spicy today.
Okay, no, I've picked up on that.
So
today.
I think that I think we'll be okay to have a little bit of spice. If not, I'll just go off camera and go, and it'll be okay.
We have coffee grounds.
I have coffee grounds. You'll be fine. Yes, but
so, I should probably start with I am a fire-breathing dragon.
Yes.
So up until I was about 17, mild was like, it's a little hot. And now I'll put like mild-ish on things. And then my husband, I was actually making this particular batch of salsa 3 days ago. And he's like, I'd left a jar out because you always have to taste it before you label the jars, right?
Yes.
Process them, leave a jar out. We come back from work and both of us are trying it. And I'm like, it's like mild-ish. And he's like, you better write medium on that jar. I didn't even put any habaneros in it. He just looks at me like, if you put habaneros in it, it is not mild. Like, well, okay. That's just what I have in the fridge. Yeah, so I'm a fire-breathing dragon. I'm also on a habanero kick because I'm about to make pineapple habanero jelly. And that is actually how I got my husband to fall in love with me.
I like jalapeno jelly over cream cheese.
100%. Where it's at. Let me level you up. Get Ballard Greek halloumi grilling cheese.
Okay.
And cut it in little squares.
Yeah.
And what you're going to do is you're going to grill it and put a little bit of that jelly on top of a cracker with it. I swear to that.
I think the next podcast should be at Jennifer Moss's house in the backyard.
Yeah. We are actually, so on this Spicy Friday, right before Labor Day as we're filming this, all of us are feeling the need for a cocktail. So feel free to message us or Facebook us with the things you would like to know with plants,
mint
herbs,
juleps,
and cocktails.
Margaritas.
I'm thinking margaritas with lots of lime.
Mint mojitos.
You know, there's a restaurant in Boise down on 8th Street, Juniper, right? So everything on their menu is as local as possible. Like they'll tell you how many miles away it is. So the place Red Feather does it across the road from them too. And I went in there. I actually got fired from picking the restaurant because I have a staff who likes a little bit more normal menus, and I like really out of the box.
Yeah.
I'm not normal, and I'm never going to be normal. I'm a little bit domestic, but I'm a strange domestic, and I'm okay with that. And I had a rosemary beet margarita.
Ooh.
So I had rosemary simple syrup with beet juice and like chili lime salt around the rim.
And
it was delicious. This was also the same meal. This is just total side story because we're gonna talk about peppers because we're in salsa world. So you have to read the menu at a place like this, right? So I have our general manager and our soil rep, and then our production grower or our production manager. Production manager's from Santa Fe. He's a pepperhead. So Steve is our production manager at the time. I mean, because this was about 7-8 years ago. And so Steve and I see that the apple crisp has habanero ice cream. So we order it. Well, our soil rep and our GM did not read the word habanero. And they get their apple crisps in front of them. And they take a bite. And they lose their minds. Because it was delightfully hot. And Steve and I are just like, this is great.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. They were like, you're never picking the restaurant again. Like, you guys are no fun.
Let's do cocktails and then let's do ice creams.
I think that would be a great idea.
I'm down. Okay. Everybody send in your suggestions.
Yeah, send in your suggestions. We're going to have a cocktail.
We should probably do ice creams, then cocktails. So we're not filming the cocktails.
Well, or we could do ice cream floats with the cocktails.
Oh,
because that's
possibilities are endless.
Well, and we could just tie this in with beer too, because if you get some of those coffee porters and you put ice cream.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're delightful. Now, if you had that peanut butter screwball whiskey. See, okay. We also saw a TikTok. We also saw a TikTok trend, and we recommend anybody go back to this. It was a dress up as your drink.
Yeah.
So, and a drink charcuterie party. So each person, say you got 6 people coming, they bring 6 different 6 cocktails of their particular cocktail that they choose, and then they dress like the cocktail. The White Russian was my favorite.
I'm down for all of it.
As she was doing
the little Russian dance. Yeah.
With her boots and her hat.
I'm down for all of it.
She had to be blonde. That was very important, I think.
We could make moonshine.
We could make moonshine. I better figure out how to look like
Huckleberry moonshine.
Oh, that would be good. I'm on a huckleberry kick.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about that.
All right, we're going to talk about this. Sorry, as we're getting off topic.
So, this actually plays really well. So my first point of this is there's standard salsa.
Yes.
And there's non-standard salsa.
I do like the sweet salsas too.
Okay, well, we have covered that. Yeah. And I'm not sure how hot this one is, just because my gauge of hot is not a normal person's gauge of hot. And we'll apologize now if there is any stains that occur down the front of us. That's like a normal salsa thing. We have a towel.
I was like, we need bibs.
Yeah, we need bibs for the salsa.
That should be part of your swag order next year. Moss Greenhouse bibs.
They'll say bloom in full color.
Yes.
We'll have them in rainbow. We'll bring them out on Pride Month in June.
Oh, dear.
Okay, so I've got a couple of different things here. So I do have some standard salsas. So this is actually the family recipe. Salsa medium. Okay. And I wanted to call it mild, but it is definitely medium. This is kind of like your chili salsa base. So it's vinegar, tequila, lime juice, or lemon juice, depending on which one, because you need a citric to kind of preserve it.
Now, does it matter if it's gold or silver tequila?
No, it does not.
Okay.
I went with whatever tequila was available that was not the Reposado.
Okay.
In my pantry, because I only have whiskey and tequila in my pantry.
Yes.
Oh, and a little bit of 44 North. I mean, not rightfully so. You gotta
Huckleberry.
have something for exactly that little cocktail that they've got. Obviously, we're thirsty today, and that's okay. But salsa goes with all of these things.
Yes, it really does.
It is definitely an entertainment thing. And of course, the tequila cooks down, so it's not any big deal. And then tomatoes, peppers, onions, and then a whole bunch of seasonings and stuff. So this is just your traditional. I've also got a salsa verde. I make mine with tomatillos. Some people use green tomatoes.
So my mom used green tomatoes, and it ended up spicier than the red tomatoes.
That's actually true. So there's a sugar content thing when you're making salsas.
Okay.
So if you're using heirlooms from your garden, typically their sugar content is so high, you'll actually taste. Mine is actually a sweeter salsa. I don't ever put sugar in my salsa, and some people do it.
We don't either. Yeah.
And there's sugar on the recipe. I just never.
Now, do you put garlic?
I put garlic.
Okay.
I put garlic. I put all sorts of different peppers. I think in this one I have jalapenos, serranos, super chilies, and Anaheims, bell peppers, and garden salsas.
So now what kind of tomatoes are you using?
These ones I actually got from Blue Rock because it's a funky summer.
It is a funky summer.
So Jennifer Moss has little to no tomatoes on her plants. Is that hilarious?
That's hilarious.
Now, so I planted my tomatoes third week of May, and then we were just cold.
We were
through
cold.
Several more weeks. I mean, it did not warm up until after Father's Day.
Yeah, it's been a late summer.
Which is incredibly unusual. And so because of that, the plants are really going through that stress. And because we've had an abnormally long heat stretch.
It's going to be like 102 on Saturday.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now, as soon as it starts to cool down, you're going to start seeing your plants produce again. So it's a funky summer, guys. Like, I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it and say, oh, yeah, like, I'm so glad you guys all got, no.
I brought in wheelbarrows full of tomatoes.
My plants didn't produce worth a toot. Like, hey, it's okay. Like, it's a weird year.
It's been a dry year, too.
You don't usually have 2 years the same in a row, thank God, because this was the worst spring since 1980. Believe me, I know I'm in the greenhouse business. Yeah. So we had 8 weekends of cruddy weather.
Mother's Day. Was it Mother's Day that it snowed?
Twice that week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had 1.5 inches of snow on Tuesday of Mother's Day week. Yes. I imprint those events on my brain.
All right.
Yeah. That's, it's like a farmer with harvest because that's our version. So that is kind of like the standard. Then I do those with tomatillos, and I think it's like roasted onions and peppers after that. And then I puree them down. And by puree, I mean one of those like blenders you shove in the pot with the corn.
Yes.
What is that called? I don't remember. Anyways, you know what I'm talking about.
Thingy.
It's the hand thingy. That's the technical term, just in case anybody's curious. Watch the YouTube to know what we're talking about. It's got the blades and the guard.
And then the guard.
And then it's got the button
rod,
and then the cord.
And then you put it in. And, it goes,
and you got to like chase after the tomatillos so you can,
I know what,
you stabby. That is.
What is it called, Zach? Come on, Zach. The big thingy.
Okay. And it goes. We'll move past that. Yeah, we'll look it up. And then we'll blitz it across the bottom of the video. Okay.
Not thingy. This is what it's called.
Not thingy. And then while I was at Blue Rock, and I know I plug Trenda over there a lot, they just do a good job. Another good spot if you live on the other side of Twin is Countryside Market. They do an incredible job. Otherwise, hit your Saturday markets. I mean, Hagerman does one on Sundays.
Maine's done now.
Maine's done?
Maine's done.
Okay, so you still have the Jerome Farmers Market through the middle of October. You have the Twin Falls Farmer Market that's at the Magic Valley Mall. And then you have different, like, so Haley's is in the middle of the week. Ketchum's is in the middle of the week.
Oh, perfect.
So there's always somebody. Sorry, and then Alex. Otherwise, you know, you find something. So I actually grabbed 2 different ones because I love what Trend is doing. So this is just our traditional peach salsa. And then this is a peach habanero. I told you, I'm on a habanero kick right now. I'm just embracing it.
You know what I love about salsa, and I'm just going to say this real quick, is it doesn't matter if you're buying it from a local grower or you're making it yourself. Look at the use by date.
Right.
Years. You've got years.
Oh, geez. You know what I discovered? So last year, I made no salsa. So we've been working through our salsa. But I'm starting to not like it. And I caught myself buying a jar of Pace medium chunky the other day. And my husband was like, are you feeling okay? I was like, yes, I just was craving this flavor. I didn't figure it out until I made that batch. It tastes better. That hasn't sat in my pantry for 2 years. Now, mind you, I've worked through some of the older salsa. It's worked out wonderfully.
Right.
When I don't want to eat it as salsa, what I'll do is I'll like make guac and throw half the jar in, or I'll make a tomato-based soup and throw it in. If I need more flavor in a marinara, I'll even throw old salsa in because it's all the same ingredients.
I put it over chicken and bake it with some cheese on top.
Also, if you're making like taco salad, you want to just
enchiladas.
Oh yeah. So take ranch dressing and mix the salsa. And if salsa's ever too hot, throw a little bit of sour cream or ranch in it, and it becomes a dip.
Lime juice. I use lime juice.
Lime juice would work.
Cut it.
Lime juice would work. Oh, people are coming in to pillage.
Oh.
They're going to get on camera. You're fine. Come eat, guys. You're just going to listen to us talk about salsa. Okay, so then I've made a couple of different things. So this is actually a bean and corn salsa that I've put different stuff into. And then we've got, actually, let's do this one first. This is the Hawaiian
We need to
salsa.
introduce your HR lady because she's amazing.
Okay, so Yadira, you're going to do a guest appearance real quick. Come here. Okay, so guys,
she's amazing.
This is Yadira. You have to come around. She's going to be a big pivotal piece of all of our training videos going forward too.
Hello.
Long time, amiga.
So she might be tasting all of these later because
Absolutely.
she's the resident salsa professional on staff.
Oh.
My mom makes killer salsas, and that's where I get
I
my
should have
Louis.
called her to do this podcast. That's okay. We'll go knock out that frittata, dude. Okay, so this is a Hawaiian salsa. We've got, there's tomatoes, bell peppers, onions, jalapenos, and then it's got mangoes, pineapple, and then fresh chopped stuff. So there's a pureed piece, and by pureed, I mean just kind of blended into smaller chunks. And then I've got the big chunks. And so this one's going to be kind of a sweet. This is fresh eating. You could put this on tacos. You could put this on top of a salad as a dressing if you wanted to be really healthy.
Could you do, like, I hear you're into salmon and putting fruits on salmons.
Fish.
Fish.
Any lighter fish. I'm all over the place on fish. I'm trying to work away from red meat, which saying that in the Magic Valley is like the silliest thing in the world, but I'm having a hard time with the digestion part of it. So I've been trying to I'm going to embrace fish right now because putting salsas and fresh stuff on it, I wonder if that's a
seasonal thing too.
That very well could be.
Because we don't eat red meat during the summer a lot.
It's too heavy.
It's more of a fall, winter kind of thing. And we get our red meat from my grandpa. So it's all what you would really call organic because he grows his own alfalfa. He doesn't 100%. Put any... He doesn't give us,
You're not, it's complete not organic. Chain. Yeah. It's coming from your own land.
So, but we only eat red meat really in that fall, winter month.
Well, it's kind of a thing.
And then we're more that little bit of chicken, not really. That's more of a like fall, winter thing. We do the fish and the seafood and everything during the spring, summer. But I wonder if that's because fish change seasonally.
Well, then you have the ancestor element of it too, right? So where is your bloodline from, right? So I'm Northern European mutt.
We already figured out Jeremiah. We eat a lot of rice.
He is going to be so excited that we bring this up every podcast. One of these days we'll have Jeremiah
He does
on here.
Listen every single time.
We'll do a big Asian spread just for him. God. Okay. So first off, that is my favorite. So the way I cook is I'm fusion, right? So I bring lots of things together.
So I'm English. Maybe that's why I like fish.
Okay. So I'm English, German, and
I'm English,
Norwegian,
German, and Irish. So
Scandinavian.
There's my white girl don't like spice.
And then I have Spanish and Hungarian thrown in there.
There's your spice.
There's my heat. Yeah. But fish is like a huge staple because that's what's available to you. So no, I digest fish so much better now because I'm on a huckleberry kick. God, you can find fresh huckleberries. That's amazing. So I did 2 different salsas. So originally I found a blueberry pineapple salsa recipe, right? Because a huckleberry and a blueberry are very similar. And I wanted to just try one subtle ingredient difference, but it hugely impacts the flavor, right? So go back to the herb podcast. This one has cilantro in it. This one has mint and basil in it. So just slightly different, but makes a huge flavor difference.
I love mint.
I'm a huge mint person too.
Love mint.
And cilantro, it has a really good place. Okay, so there's that gene in your DNA that makes it either taste like soap or you like it.
Oh, I love cilantro.
So my mother hates it.
Tastes like soap.
Well, she won't do it. Now, I'm kind of the weird in between. Like, I don't like it cooked into stuff. I don't mind it fresh, but not too much.
I don't like it cooked into stuff either. I like it fresh.
I don't like it cooked.
I like it as a garnish.
It's always in this recipe. I never put it in.
Yeah, it's a garnish for me.
I do, because it gets black and slimy. And I'm just like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Now, basil, you also want to be a little careful on that one too. So, but yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. What do you want to try? Also, we were talking on our last one too. Guacamole. If you ever end up with guacamole that you had a party, ate half of it, you want to refresh it for dinner tomorrow, throw a scoop of salsa in it. Mix it up. Can't even tell. And another thing, cooked versus fresh, right?
See that, Zach?
There you go. All right. She's going to share the cilantro, huckleberry, pineapple salsa.
Here we go.
And she didn't spill down her shirt. Winning. Right? Okay, so these 4 are all fresh, right? Made this morning. So they've melded in the flavors for a couple hours, not too long. So it's not overpowering, but just enough that it's absorbed the flavor. Versus all 4 of these are cooked.
That's good.
Okay, now I want you to try that one. We were leaving it in the jar. We're going full on, guys.
We're going full.
Full on.
Full dip.
Full dip. This one we might spill. Here.
Might.
Bib.
Here we go.
It's going
babe.
in.
No, I got this. I got this.
For those who are just
Here we
listening,
go.
I am now putting a dish towel across the front of Liz.
That's a mild.
Wait for a second.
That's a medium.
Okay, so how I can tell my peppers and my salsa, this is just my own little trick, right? So I do the bells and chunks, and I take all the hot peppers and I put them in the blender with the vinegar, and I blend them so they're smaller chunks.
You leave your seeds in?
Boy, howdy.
Yeah, you do.
That is too much work. I already peeled the tomatoes. That is the nicest thing I'm going to do.
Did I tell you about my salsa adventure where I got jalapeno in my eye?
No.
We were making salsa
Okay.
because big garden, you gotta
Gotta
hurry.
make salsa.
I was de-seeding them because my grandpa's like 90.
Yeah.
So I was de-seeding them,
You're being nice.
making
very kind
salsa.
of
I
you.
had gloves on.
Okay.
Took my gloves off, washed my hands. I was like, I gotta go take out my contacts because it's a thing.
Oh.
You have to like wear
Oh,
your
no.
glasses so your
Oh,
eyes
no.
don't burn.
I know
Well,
where
I
this
washed
story's
my
going.
hands,
Uh-huh.
went to take out my
Yep.
contacts.
Capsin stays on your fingers.
I was wearing gloves. I thought I was okay.
No, that's not how that works.
Milk people. Eye wash with milk. If you ever get it in your eyes. It felt so good.
I can tell
just went like
a
this.
worse story
with the eyes.
of having your husband help you and not paying attention and then going to use the restroom.
That's a
kind of
drinking
thing.
story.
That is a drinking story. Inappropriate things that happen with hot peppers.
I think that happened with my husband too.
Gentlemen
Yeah.
and ladies, any sensitive part should not be touched after you handle peppers. At least for a foreseeable, like shower, body wash,
Milk.
soaking situation.
Soaking in milk.
Soaking in milk. God. Oh, this
And
just
next.
makes me think of all the things. Okay, so let's try all the salsas. Okay, so
Yes, I'm going
this is the
this one
roasted.
next.
Yeah, and you can do how you can change the
Here, let me
flavor
read
on this
this.
one. And this is the bean and corn one. You can actually get fresh corn on the cob, roast the ears, and then cut them off. It'll totally shift the flavor.
You know, I've never had roasted corn.
Pretty tasty.
There's something wrong with me.
No, you just haven't prioritized it. Now, I really like fresh corn on the cob. It's a big deal to me. Now, this was me. Now,
I'd put
Cheese-
that on a salad.
in a hot second, without question.
Mm-hmm.
And so each one of them has their place. Now, I'm famous for repurposing leftovers in my household. I could be like, okay, we have chicken, we have rice, we have salsa, we have salad. Let's just like heat up the things that need heated up and toss it with the lettuce and the salsa and throw it in a tortilla. And then suddenly it's a completely different meal than the pulled pork sandwiches you had or the salmon with rice the night before. And you've created an entirely different meal. So with this one, this being the Hawaiian salsa,
Do you want me to move it over?
totally different. We're playing musical bowls.
I'm just trying to. There we go.
Oh, on a fish taco, that would be incredible. It's a little sweet. Still has a salsa flavor to it. As far as like tomato flavor.
Now, speaking of mango, I know we don't
Okay.
have much time. How do you know when a mango is ripe?
I'm not very good at that game. I'm not. Pineapple, you can smell it. Cantaloupe, you can smell it. Avocado, you can feel it. Tomato, you can kind of feel it depending on the variety. Mango, I think, is probably also a feel thing, kind of like a peach. You don't want to squeeze it too hard, but it start to soften. You have a chance.
Okay.
Because you got to remember, anything in a store was probably picked before it was ready. And then
and
it
mangoes
ripens.
aren't naturally grown in Idaho.
Oh, hail to the no.
So that's one that's like, yes, we try to eat stuff that's grown here.
Doesn't work. all
We're
the
going to
time.
eat a lot of strawberries, raspberries, huckleberries, and blackberries, and peaches, and apricots, and pears.
And you're not going to see an orange or a pineapple or papaya or mango.
Or mango, or
an
kiwi,
avocado or any of
avocados,
that.
or lemons, or
Yeah, but you'd have plenty of soybeans, beans, corn,
Yeah.
jalapenos, peppers, all
Yep.
that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
Squash.
a seasonal thing. Oh, God, squash for days. We are to the point that if you leave your car unlocked, you might come back to a backseat full of zucchini from your neighbor who is suddenly going to be gone and not answering your phone calls because they've unloaded their entire garden in the backseat of your car.
My mother does that to people.
Okay, well, with that, we'll wrap this up. But guys, I invite you to check out some new salsas. Try them out. Try it. So we'll go
try
a
the
little long
salsas.
here for a hot second.
Uh-oh.
Test this. So you already tried it with the cilantro, right? So this is the huckleberry pineapple because I adapted it. Recipe. Liz has already tried the cilantro version. So this is the mint basil version. This is completely different. Now, yes, you could put this over fish. You could put it in tacos. You could do pulled pork. Simply, like in a crock pot with just salt. And put this over the top of it and totally change it. See how different that is? Just by one ingredient.
Okay. Give me a minute here. This one, I would put over like a salmon.
Okay. The
Or a fish.
cilantro one over a fish.
This one, I would get those blue tortilla chips and just set it out as a pre-game.
Okay.
But I'd want like a huckleberry margarita
Right next to it.
right next to it.
With fresh lime. Squeeze the
Fresh
daylights
lime.
out of it. Oh.
And maybe a little bit of mint garnish.
Yeah. You could do that all day.
That'd
And
be great.
we're running out of juice.
All right. Well,
That's all right.
there's
We
my
have
50
plenty
cents.
more salsa to eat after this. But with that, guys, don't be afraid to try something different with your salsas. And you don't have to just use them on chips. And also, you can take beets and turnips and stuff and do vegetable chips and do it. You do it with potato chips. Get
Purple
creative.
potato chips.
Yeah, and I just do the plain salted ones because then you're not competing for too much flavor. And then you don't have to salt your other stuff as much. So with that, I invite you to try all the salsas, whatever your preference might be. And with that, I invite you to go live life in full color. Being plain's pretty boring. Thank you, guys.